Yo, what's going on, Atlanta Falcon fans, man? Y'all know it is your boy Antoine Smitty Smith. Stopping in right quick, man, to give y'all my quick thoughts. I put up a question on my community page the other day about fan questions, and I like to take fan questions every now and then. And it's something I should start doing a little bit more often because I love interacting with my subscribers, man, because y'all make the sports machine who it is. But I'm gonna take about 5 of those questions, maybe 6, or because some of them kind of run into each other, so I can answer a couple of them at the same time. But again, man, I put on my community page. But right quick, man, before we get to going, um, Mark Ramondi broke some news about Drake London. A lot of y'all been asking me about Drake London's contract and what do I feel like, and what should they do with Drake. And here was Mark Ramondi said what Ian Cunningham told him about, extension with Drake London. He says at the top of his mind, but right now the team is focusing on free agency and then the draft. Cunningham said extension on London and Bijan Robinson likely won't be focused on until after the draft. And my quick thought on that, man, if I'm gonna be honest with y'all, and y'all know that's the only way I know how to be, they could sign both of them if they wanted to, because Drake is on the 5th-year option, and Bijan Robinson 1 more year on his deal, and they picked up his 5th-year option, of course. But I just think Drake London is going to end up in one of those Trae Young situations. And what I mean by that, they might get every single outside of him until they can't no more, and then they ship him off somewhere. This is just my thought. And y'all know me. I keep it real, and the reason why I said it before, you can't pay everybody. And a lot of that, too, depends on what happens with Kyle Pitts. If Kyle Pitts is signed to a long-term deal, I think that's the writing on the wall for Drake London. Why? Because I feel like they should have already given Drake a contract. He shouldn't have had to go into his 5th year after a 1,000-yard season, really a solid career up to this point. But again, numbers speak, volume speak, and that injury did not help. So when you look at Kyle Pitts, yeah, bigger player, faster, longer wingspan, bigger mismatch, cheaper contract, $20 million cheaper to be honest with y'all. So it's reasons why, they probably not going to talk about this right now. But again, in my opinion, I still think Drake gets released next year or tagged and traded or let go in free agency. But I don't see him coming back to the Falcons. It's just my opinion. Y'all can bash me all y'all want. But again, I'm looking at long term. That 30 to 35 million that you would give Drake, that's 2 to 3 players right there. Even and a solid NFL starter, if you ask me, at another position, and you could get somebody cheaper than that $30 million. So it's just a money thing, and I'm gonna keep saying that with y'all. But Ian has said they'll focus on that after the draft. That's neither here nor there, man. But that's just my quick take on it, man. Y'all know I keep it real with y'all. But look, I just don't see Drake as a Falcon after 2026. Just me. Could be wrong, and y'all know if I'm wrong, I'll admit it. And let's get to these questions right quick, man. As y'all saw it, like I said, I put up a post the other day in my community on my YouTube channel, and y'all checked it out and y'all dropped them questions. Mailbag Monday is what we gonna call it. 36 of y'all I got 15 comments, and some of these I have answered already. But let's be real. Jay Shum, he said, can Stefanski keep a locker room fired up and wanting to play hard for him all season? Is that his job? If he can't, what are the consequences? Well, Jay, I think he can keep them fired up. But to be real with you, they got to keep themselves fired up. They the one playing for a job. He's just coaching. But one thing I will say, the coaching staff that he's put around them, I think is going to be the key to this team succeeding. And as I've said before, y'all see what Ulbrich did last season. Players loved him. Defensive line coach, Nate Ollie. coming over from Indianapolis, he had his defense fired up last year. Justin Hood comes in as the new secondary coach. And they've just made some awesome moves, man, on both sides of the football with coaching. So I think these players are absolutely going to be fired up. Um, it doesn't always have to be with the coach. 9 times out of 10, with your teammates, you getting fired up with them, y'all getting along, and y'all picking up on what the coach is selling. And if y'all buy into it, won't be a problem. Won't be a problem. But Jay Scoon, thank you for that question, my guy. Big Fish 469. Without which recent inquiries, what direction do we go in the draft? And this is an excellent question, man. Excellent question. And I'm gonna pull up right quick about which way we go in the draft. I'm gonna pull up the free agents that we done actually picked up right now. Y'all know about Tua, Brian Robinson. Trevor Simeon was a solid pick, third string quarterback in case one of these guys get hurt and can't go. So that was a solid signing. Tua, a lot of y'all didn't like it, but 1.3 for a quarterback that's threw over 200 touchdowns in his career. And a 70% damn near completion percentage. You can't ask for nothing cheaper. Jahan Dotson, one of my favorite signings. Elite hands, decent speed at 4.43, straight motor, can cut on the dime. I love that move. Jake Bailey, punter, you needed a punter. Bradley Pinion was too much. I think he was 1 year over $10 million, and they got Jake Bailey for 3 years and $9 million. So that was a value buy. Austin Hooper, former Falcon, 1 year deal, 3.25 veteran. A lot of two tight end sets. I love it. Him and Kyle Pitts, if Pitts is here, I would love to see that dynamic on the field. That means they will control the middle of the field with these tight ends or outside the numbers, and you can see the running game vastly improve with Brian Robinson, Bijan Robinson, and Tyler Goodson. Cameron Thomas, another sleeper signing. This is a depth piece, 1 year, $3 million. I think with what's going on with James Pierce, you got to bring in, another defensive end / edge rusher. Arnold Ebiketie is gone. Leonard Floyd is gone. David Onyemata is gone. Deshaun Hand is another one, 1 year, $3 million, another value buy to help the young guys, Aurora Rowe and Dorless. Onyemata, like I said, left. And this is just a nice depth piece. Special teams was bad last year. Channing Tindall, Christian Harris, both of those linebackers good at special teams. 1 year deals. Christian is probably going to take over for Caden Ellis. I love it. And these are some great. Olamide Zaccheaus comes back as well. You need speed at the wide receiver position. Azeez Ojulari, like I said, with James Pierce being out, possibly. Former Eagle 1 year deal. You love it. Nick Folk, veteran kicker, 85% throughout his career. Absolutely love that move. Corey Levine, we talked about Ryan Nuzil. 1 more year on his deal, but you have somebody to come in and challenge him. And I tell y'all, Bill Callahan is going to be the biggest key to this offense succeeding because he's a run-first coach and knows how to teach the run game properly, run blocking. So these guys that have struggled with it, they're going to vastly improve. And the same thing with pass protection. Chris Williams, another depth piece from coming over from Chicago with Ian Cunningham. Laquel London, with the Falcons the last couple of years, maybe the last 3 years, comes back on a 1 year deal. Picked up weight to play more in the middle, and he had a career high 5 sacks last year, including 5 starts. So when you look at that, that's a solid move. Samson Ekebon, definitely a solid move coming over from Indianapolis with Nate Ollie. Knows him well. He also knows Tyler Goodson. So these guys are who the Falcons have picked up so far. And I didn't even mention Darnay Holmes, the slot corner. So it's guys that they picked up. And I just know it's just something that I think it's a great move. But what direction do we go? That's still a great question. But to me, it's hard to say. But I'm still looking at the number 2 cornerback position. Brandon Sis out of South Carolina, the kid from Arizona State, Keith Abney. He's another guy I'm looking at. I'm still looking at defensive tackle. Even though we brought in these 1 year guys, we still need a long-term investment there. I can see Christian Miller, Lee Hunter, Caden McDonald from Ohio State. Wide receiver. I talked about Drake London earlier. So I can see a long-term fit there. Chris Bazell Jr., he's 6'5", he's about 215, 215, and he runs a 4.37 40. Has speed, hands, breakaway. I mean, good release at the line. If they want to move on from Drake, like I've been telling y'all, this is the perfect draft to do so. So Zachariah Branch, like I said, he could be another one. But is it Chris Bell, Skylar Bell? I mean, I could keep going wide receiver, but it's hard to say. But I'm back and forth between defensive tackle and cornerback. Those are my two spots to watch. But Big Fish, thank you for that, man. Are the Falcons going to have the same approach with London like they did with Pitt's fifth-year option franchise tag? I just answered that one. Arturo, I feel like Drake could go all the way up to he's on his franchise tag next year. This year's fifth-year option at 16 million. But to me, like I said, I feel like he won't be back in 2027 because they could easily franchise tag him, change him, trade him, and end up his replacement in this draft. Just a thought. Offensive line says Tillman Rutherford. I think we should go offensive line. I could see that actually. Offensive tackle with Jake Matthews at 34 and Caleb McGarry at 31. You got to get young at that position eventually. This is another good question that I think they could actually go offensive tackle in this draft. We're not surprised at all because Ian Cunningham is a former offensive lineman and Matt Ryan is a former quarterback. Ty Walker said, I'm sorry, King ATL supporter. What's up, my guy? He said, how can the Falcons get to the Super Bowl and actually win it? That's easy. Go out there, work hard, win time possessions, basically win football games. But you do that by winning time possession with the run game, be consistent on offense, do like you did last year, be consistent, get to the quarterback on defense, force turnovers. But it starts with coaching. And if they buy into what he's selling and they perform like they're supposed to, I absolutely think they can win a Super Bowl. Ty Walker, what's up, my guy? He said, please confirm with all these one-year deals. If we don't resign and they sign for bigger contracts for another team, don't we get comp picks? I feel like Ian's strategy is to get extra comp picks in the future for those who don't resign. And that's absolutely why he signed a lot of one-year deals. If they, I think it has to do with performance and how big of an impact and how big of a contract. But if they have a big enough contract and they make an impact, I think they can get a comp pick for some of these guys. And it has to do with years of service. I got to look more into that, but I absolutely think they can get comp picks for some of these guys. Budro, he said, what happens to Penix if Tua is actually really good this year? And I've answered this 1,000 times, and I'm going to keep saying it. If Tua comes in, has chemistry, doing his thing with this offense and buying into it and being consistent, Tua probably won't. Penix probably won't play another down with the Falcons unless he comes back next year and he's fully healthy and they'll give him another shot in his fourth year and they give him a shot next year. Because if this team has a winning record at that point, after I would say halfway through the season, it makes no sense to bring Penix in. You let Tua do his thing, and you wait till something happens. Like I said with Kirk Cousins last year, when Kirk Cousins got hurt, I said that's the only way Penix hits the field. I'm gonna say the same thing with Tua. Kiera, what's good? She said, what are 2 to 3 players you can't pass up on pick 48? I answered this a little bit earlier. But like I said, cornerback is 3 positions that I think is cornerback, defensive tackle, and wide receiver. And 2 to 3 players out of those positions, Bulldogs. Christian Miller, he's one. Lee Hunter to me is still one. Caden McDonough, the defensive tackle. So those 3 are 3 that you can't pass up on if they're there. Zachariah Branch at wide receiver. Chris Brazil the second at wide receiver. Cornerback Brandon Sitz out of South Carolina. Like I said, Keith Abney the cornerback out of Arizona State. Those are players that you can't pass up on at 48. If either of them is there, and see that's I think middle of the second round. So there's still going to be somebody there because Xavier White slipped all the way down and see what kind of steal we got there. Um, Devin Moore could be a next gem, and y'all go check that video out. I did on Devin Moore out of Florida. I think a player that they could look at in the third round, or if he falls past that. But yeah, those are my players that I think you just can't pass up. Ped 197 says, should we go offensive line? Absolutely good question. I think we absolutely could go offensive line in this draft, and we'll see. But those are my thoughts, man. On those fan questions, man. I thank y'all for dropping them, man, because I think they were great questions, and we have a lot yet to be desired because I think the Falcons have a good little ways to go. But those are the quick fan questions, man. Again, thank y'all for tuning in. But again, man, if y'all got a good question for a video, y'all continue to drop them in the comment box because some of them make for great videos and some of them are awesome questions. But look, this your boy Antoine Smitty Smith signing off. We're gonna have that mock draft soon, so y'all make sure y'all stay tuned and keep supporting the Sports Machine A1 forever as we keep doing our thing, giving y'all the pop-up shows. But until next time, man, y'all know how to do it. We can drop those comments. And don't forget to hype me up, man. Hype me up and keep pushing me through the YouTube algorithm. But thank y'all for tuning in, man. I'm gonna sign off and I'm gonna holler at y'all later, man. Peace.